Greetings, namaste. This video piece is part of my Power of Thought series. And what I'm doing here is I'm sharing experience and wisdom of catching a train of thought and what occurs or is instigated from doing that, the benefit of catching a train of thought, and the possible outcome of riding that train to the next stop or the station. And this one is titled Letting Go. So if you're someone looking for an answer and want to see how something like this plays out in a meditative flow, then you're in the right place. If you're someone who wants to discover or learn how to begin meditative writing, the question and answer with your intuition and what gets created within that, and you're also in the right place. So I'd like to just set this up saying that we all have trains of thought, okay, and I get that. You're thinking or compiling an idea in your head, right, or in a discussion or a project where everyone is tuned into each other. And all of a sudden, a trigger word or a thought or an interruption literally interrupts or stops the flow of your train of thought. So thus, the train cars with the intel get derailed and disappear for a moment, or until it circles back again at a later day and time. This is the space we are in with this piece, the space of that same conversation of inquiry and collaboration with one uniquely extraordinary component, guided answers to my inquiries. And what is the purpose? What's my purpose in doing this? Well, it's to share with others, to reveal enlightening content, much which seems philosophical, and to empower others to the possibility of the power of having focused train of thought that can be laser focused, right? And to see the ways of how our train of thoughts interact with us every day, at work, at play, with others, and then how their trains of thought play out with us and seeing their interruptions, right? And then also to share that way to begin to create a new relationship with the power of thought within us and how it plays out in your life, right? And my end goal is healing, health and healing, right? And our thoughts are very strong and very powerful. So besides the use of them this way, right, you can see the other ways through my other videos and through your own introspection and retrospection of yourself, what your thought creates, manifestation stations we are, right? So I also want to share while we're going through this piece, right, that I know a breakthrough for me may not be a breakthrough for you. However, having the conversation, we create the synchronicity within the discussion that can enlighten an area of your life to a new possibility with a new discovery of something like this, okay? So I ask this question as I sit with relaxing music playing on YouTube on my TV up on the wall, and my eyes are closed, and I got a pen out and my notebook on the arm of my chair. And I'm sitting here because a colleague of mine, a very good friend of 12 years, passed away. We spoke every day. And I study spirituality in the sense that I believe that energy that runs us, right? How do we run? It's energy. I measure energy, right? And we heal with energy. So I believe that energy never dies, even though the human body may. So grieving to me has seemed very different. In the last few years, there have been deaths of people that were very close to me, that are very close to me. And there's an unevenness surrounding the grieving process and how to grieve based on the way of grieving that was created on me by me in the past, right? Which was what? Depressed, a victim, left alone, unhappy, lost, woe is me, everybody leaves me, etc., etc. I now know I can change my way of being, as well as the use of my wherewithal to determine exactly why or what I'm grieving about in the nature of discovering my authentic, pure, intentional self. To break that down is that not letting emotions sweep me away from previous programming of what grieving meant to others, which was how do we learn, right? Our community creates us. And I've worked with death a lot, right? Being a CNA for a lot of years. I worked on hospital. God just always took me to this place to work with these people that were past or passing, right? I even bathed people after they passed so their family could come and view them. So I see things through all of this. So I know I've been guided to be in that space to accept something like this, right? To understand that grieving and death doesn't have to leave me depressed, a victim, left alone, unhappy, and lost, woe is me, right? Because I've had experiences that show me better. So I get wrapped up in not grieving enough to let this emotion and this loss of this dear friend process in my body, okay? And I could feel and sense his energy in my meditations and sometimes in my energy field. So it occurred to me there were things to transmute for me and possibly for him, right? Just in all of our encounters, we ran big projects, we were interacted with so many people. Did he have unfinished business? Did I have unfinished business? This type of things, okay? And to create the next space for that and then let it go. However, I felt like there was this block. It occurred as a block, right? And it occurred to me that until I could open the energy, wherever that is, and release him to be with himself in his afterlife, right? Those thoughts of being depressed and a victim and left alone, unhappy, lost, woe is me, they just keep occurring. And that's programming on ourselves, right? And those aren't programs that run with me very well anymore. So when they're running, you're like, where is this coming from? And then that train of thought, inquiry, takes you to where that thought is coming from when it all kept leading back here. So I felt I needed to ask how to release the grief, okay, of the loss and this connection, right? Why does everything keep occurring? Is there something I need to clean? Just all these things. It's just over ruminating on what. So I was going for clarity. So this grief and this connection, so I would stop having him appear in these flows of thoughts, these train of thoughts, and these meditative thoughts, or being even in my energy space. So there's two pieces here today. And one is this question and answer piece that's a prose in nature that came from this meditative train of thought, my intentional, right, what I went in meditation for, right? So the first one's called Phenomenon of Synchronicity, Space, and Interdimensionality. And the second is a prose piece titled Coming and Going, which really gives comfort to death and grieving and how it's okay. So I asked this question based on how can we be better aware of our interdimensionality? How can we be better aware of our interdimensionality? All right, so the inquiry for that first question came because where am I seeing him, right? How is he showing up? What, where does my vibration have to be aware, to catch it, to see it? What am I supposed to do? Pretty much I'm asking. So this was a question that occurred to me to ask. How can we be better aware of our interdimensionality? And then the next question is something happening in another scene. For when I sense emotions and emotional vibrations that feel out of place. So I was having like these like gurgitating, gurgly things, right? And they're emotional vibrations, and I'm like, what is that? You know, why am I feeling like, and I could be just doing anything, you know? And all of a sudden it just was like, and it was that uneasiness, right? They just felt out of place. They weren't with where I was. And I followed them back. Again, like I said, where is the source of this? What is this? Show me what this is. So what I'm going to read is, I'll let you know where my questions are. So it's like a question and answer type of the first one, like I said, where I just write down questions, right? And then I sit and I wait in this meditative state because my mind is clear, right? The space is clear. And I just sit here and thoughts occur in my brain, in my mind, right? So the answer I received, so is something happening in another scene when I sense emotions and emotional vibrations that feel out of place? And how can we better be aware? How can we be better aware of our interdimensionality? So those two are written down. And then what I have written down after that is how much space is in space. And I'm not specifically speaking out of that outside Earth's dome black place. So not specifically speaking about outer space. Okay, they're speaking of how much space is in space. We're talking about the space that we live in. Okay, so then this quote came up that I know. So it occurred. This is what it is. So I'm writing down thoughts. This thought train, I'm writing down all these thoughts that are occurring. And these are not inquiries. These are just thoughts that are occurring. Okay, so it could be an answer. You can call it whatever you want it to call it. So it says, space is a phenomenon that is bound by time and subject to change, Muji says. And Muji's a yogi, right, that I'm familiar with. Space is a phenomenon that is bound by time and subject to change. So after that, it says, I yearn to learn the contraption that space, synchronicity, time, and truth lie within. I yearn to learn the contraption that space, synchronicity, time, and truth lie within. So my next question was, so then are thoughts phenomenon? And the response, or what I wrote down, was searching for truth, a truth without shame and fear. So where and how then does synchronicity play? My synchronous experiences have taught me that synchronicity is nothing to learn or how to be. And the response was, it's something the universe shares with me. Heightened intuition is always guided. We are not alone as we have been chided. Get to know your intuition very well and practice immediate access to catch up with what you do and have created. Manage those spinning plates. Examine what seems to be going wrong or going right. Timelines are our creations, but not our destiny. Let yourself be taken for a ride once in a while. It can be fun if you will allow it. Let go of desire. There are already known processes. What is given in the experience is a thrill. There is thinking. Some thoughts seek meditation and some do not. Non-action in meditation organizes what we've got. Feel the power. Feel the access. Have a seat and close your eyes. 3 deep breaths and then repeat. You will find it easy to learn to meditate once you see there is nothing to seek. So from this question, how can we be better aware of our interdimensionality? Is something happening in another scene when I feel emotions and emotional vibrations that feel out of place? This is a continuation of this answer. Alternate dimension versions of me keep moving about. Timelines moving in and out. How is it determined where I am calm or where I shout? Vibration seems to sort it all out. How do our vibrational others present with the same clout? Aren't their timeline dimensions also moving them about, back and forth, in and out? What dimensional you are you bringing to my dimensional me? We balance each other until a trigger takes us out of our high vibration. Are we walking on eggshells then? Perhaps create opportunities or possibilities to eliminate them. Guided, focused coaching is the place to begin. Transmuting emotions heal the programmed sins. Better out than in. Too much to instigate. Let it go until it presents again. Raise vibration with music, a song. Joy-like vibrations will begin. Music and distractive melody are healing, you see. Through calm, anything is a possibility. Without calm, there's space for further injury. Creating more scabs and scars to later heal and transmute to positivity on another day. Dropping vibration and temporarily removing oneself from play. The prose is a gift, some candy, a treat for the soul. So, what I do when this writing occurs like this is literally dissect every rich sentence, every rich thought, understand the depth and the space that it's in. So what the simplistic view of this could be, the beginning, the first one, how much space is in space, phenomenon. Searching for a truth without shame and fear. Okay, so find yourself that has no shame and fear, because there is a self of you that doesn't have shame and fear, right? And there's personality work that is created to rid the shame and the fear and transmuting the experiences. Synchronicity is nothing to learn or how to be. It's just it's something the universe shares with me. Heightened intuition is always guided. So if you have heightened intuition, that could look like knowing, like, oh, I want to go down this street to make a right turn. So heightened intuition is always guided. We are not alone as we have been chided. So heightened intuition just says follow your synchronicity, and it guides you to what the answer is, right? And like, or what you're seeking, what you manifest to clean up my experiences, and that'll lead me to what needs to be cleaned up about shame and fear. Okay, and the fear of being alone and not having a partner, the income, dropping, all these things. Get to know your intuition very well and practice immediate access to catch up with what you do and have created. Get to know your intuition very well and practice immediate access to catch up. So it means ask more questions, right? And check it out and follow, and the phone calls and the emails, all this stuff from what we've created, which are the spinning plates. Examine what seems to be going wrong or going right. Timelines are our creations, but not our destiny. Let yourself be taken for a ride once in a while. It can be fun if you will allow it. So we create these timelines, these time time space continuums in these timelines of what is so, which my time space with my partner was 12 years, my business partner, and we created a lot in there. So don't be afraid to be on the ride. Let yourself be taken for a ride once in a while, and like take away the fear of what it is, right? It can be fun. This isn't like the bad thing. What's going on is not how it may appear to me at the moment, right? Let go of desire. So it was my desire of like, oh my God, I need like $100,000, or you know, what my desire to be like, okay, what am I creating next? There are already known processes. What is given in the experience is a thrill. So me going through these already known processes, which are already in the works, because I've been working on the career transition for a good year now. And then what's come out of this since this occurred is I have a new freedom that allowed me to create new thrills and move to a different area of my life and create new career possibilities and relationship possibilities, right, with my significant other. And just move out of the state and meet all new people, like a whole brand new career and a whole brand new realm, paradigm, however you want to call it. All right, so the next sentence was, there's thinking. Some thoughts seek meditation and some do not. Non-action in meditation organizes what we've got. So I think that's telling me to calm and quit asking questions, right? There's thinking. Some thoughts seek meditation and some do not. So I can see that, what that looks like. There's thinking. Some thoughts seek meditation and some do not. So we're well experienced to receive our intuitive messages without needing to go into this kind of meditation. Follow the signs that we've got, right? Follow what's already out here. And our thoughts, right? Everything as a thought could be like, oh, I like those flowers. And then you turn to go on that street and you don't know why you're on that street. You're going to choose a different way to go home. And then the synchronicity of anything gets triggered all this way home for either you or people that you interact with. Feel the power. Feel the access. Have a seat. Close your eyes. 3 deep breaths and repeat. You will find it easy to learn to meditate once you see there is nothing to seek. So yeah, stop asking questions. That's pretty much what it was. So they told me how to raise my vibration. Okay. Not it, my writing, right, said how to raise my vibration and let go of things. And then at the end, there's a break. At the end of this, the prose is a gift, some candy, a treat for the soul. So the prose is coming up next, I believe. So also, it is what it is, as a mantra, just came to me. It lives on the premise of just let it be. So I see that as it is what it is, as a mantra. It just came to me. It lives on the premise of just let it be. Which also could be a communication from my previous partner, because that's what he said all the time. Well, it is what it is. And so there's another message in that, just let it be. So that's what the vibration of it is what it is, how it occurred to me. So I'm still sitting here and my meditative music that was playing on YouTube, it ends. Then a Wayne Dyer lecture begins. Okay, my algorithm knows me very well. Since I was in this meditation, I just stayed in the flow. So some of this next part probably has quotes from the video. And as I see, it propelled me into deeper introspection. Okay, so thank you, Wayne, for your contribution. And I see that's why they create this, just as I'm creating this to share with you. So I title it Coming and Going. Okay, you'll see that this prose piece continues with the spirit of letting go and what a possibility looks like to do that. And there's not much question and answer in this one. It's mostly prose. So the first word written down is everything, all by itself, everything. Everything. The cycle of coming and going and coming, includes feelings to be transmuted to next time spaces. Going and coming transitions to new comings and goings. Example, phases of getting in and out of bed and sleep. Okay, let's create that in a new way. Example, phases of getting in and out of bed and sleep. When I do get out of bed, that is going. And at the end phase in my life, that which was sleeping. We are always coming up to what's next. What we are currently doing turns into going. Going is constantly on the out to what is coming. This too shall pass, the loss of your dear friend. Observe how endings become beginnings. Practice seeing endings and beginnings, and what's between me and them. I am unfolding in divine order. Stop chasing dreams. Slow down frantic being. Imagine all you like to experience in your life and let it go. Live an unhurried life. See change. See? Change is the only ultimate constant. It really is. Allow yourself to mourn. Return to source, where all cycles begin and end. Change the way you look at things, for things will always change. Bring peace to despair, and know this too shall pass. Change is the only constant in life. Give up all your dreams to God in the flow. You will find much peace. You will encounter. You will find how much peace you will encounter when you bravely just let it go. Living with constancy. Change valuable influences. Changes valuable influences. Living with constancy. Change valuable influences. Purpose of life with the Tao, T-A-O. All things come and then they go. Coming and going is the nature of things. Change the way you look at things, for things will always change. Bring peace to despair, and know this too shall pass. Thank you for being here with me. Thank you for letting it go with me. Thank you for coming and going with me. This ending is becoming a new beginning. This moment, right? That's how we flow. Thank you. Like and subscribe. Help support, share other people that could benefit from seeing how letting go could play out without all the grief and despair, that there's a possibility of happiness and acceptance and clearing, right, of energy. And where do you start? Spiritual people look for that place to start. And being calm allows our answers to come through clearer. So this may not be the answer for your breakthrough. However, just know that this intel is here to share as a path to what it takes to have that intuitive guidance and to receive it clearly, focused, with out all that spin inside of it that our head just knocks out the train of thought all the time. So thank you for being here. And I hope this benefited you in some way. The purpose of this whole series is to just really punch out focused thought, right? So focus is a big thing. And focus on non-thinking, and focus on thought, and focus on the conversation, and focus on the being, right? To be with somebody in a focused way that you're really with them is a gift that's come with this training and development that's created me so far. All right. Thank you so much. Namaste. Thanks for being here in this intimate part of my life and staying till the end. All right. I love you. Much love. It's a great day for a great day. Namaste.